Now we're going to be, right now I'm going to be calling up our student ambassador. And as I mentioned before we actually arrived here today, the person that we're going to be selecting represents our school, your families, our community, but you're going to be representing the entire state. And we're very confident that you're going to represent us with pride and dignity, and you're going to make Hawaii shine. So this year's student ambassador for the state of Hawaii for Do the Right Thing competition is Keziah Chloe Bacor. All right, Waiʻanae, let's give it up for Keziah. Come on.
In the beginning of my 8th grade year, many violence occurred in our community. About 4 shootings happened in just a span of 4 weeks. After that, I've never been more careful of my surroundings or my families. My classmates and I were able to talk to Congresswoman Joe Takuda and AG Ann Lopez about what was happening in our community, as well as doing sign weaving to promote awareness in our school. Doing this allowed me to express my feelings about the violence that I have been bottling up inside me. I never thought I would win this competition, but I'm forever grateful that I did. I would gladly like to thank Governor Josh Green for having the DtWT recognition ceremony here at Washington Place, Deputy Superintendent Heidi Armstrong, Assistant Superintendent Terry Ushijima, AG Ann Lopez, and Kaz Dizahagi for hosting this competition and giving us 8th grade Waiʻanae Avid students an opportunity to compete in DtWT. Thank you, judging panel, for taking the time to read all our essays and choosing the winner, and our principal, Mr. Wataoka, for giving me and my classmates the chance to discuss youth violence and share experiences. Lastly, thanks to my amazing teacher, Mrs. Karata. You pushed us into doing well in our essays and wanting us to experience a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I'm proud of all of us for doing our best and being able to be here at Washington Place. I really look forward to all the sightseeing in Washington, D.C. I really want to see all the monuments and historical sites, and also seeing the White House and the Supreme Court. Being part of this competition made me realize that we should be the change, be better role models for people who don't, or for kids who don't know anything about the real world. Finally, I would like to finish off with my poem. A weapon held from a hand, they truly never end, do they? The thoughts, the imaginations, it should be left behind, but it can't. It comes back like a stab in the heart, the happiness flowing out like blood. But each thump from the heart is a thump of panic. The way thoughts swarm around my mind like bees, thoughts that bring you back to reality. Fear takes over, the fear of a family death will forever haunt me, like a ghost never leaving my side. I can no longer hide it, why won't it leave my head? No matter how hard I try to erase it, it's stuck forever. I wish I could live in the present, not worrying about the past. Bathroom fills with tears, tears of someone who never had to worry about anything. I look up at my own reflection, disappointment fills up the walls. I need to stop. I try not to think about it, have fun, don't worry about it, but it's always the same thoughts every time. What will happen to them? Are they going to be safe? I can't escape it. Trapped in a box full of fear and guilt. It won't end, doesn't it?
You guys, at such a young age, have already made a difference. So I'm very proud of all of you. And right now we're going to be announcing our 2 distinguished finalists. The first distinguished finalist that we have is Asdyn Lima-Po. Asdyn. Asdyn, yeah, come on up. We're gonna have you. We're gonna have you come up. Our second distinguished finalist is Kealiiokekai Hezekia-Demotto-Lum. Keali'i.
I really thought that it was something that they could experience, that, it was a great opportunity for them to be able to kind of just write out their feelings. We had a lot of tragic things happen within our community, so it's something different for them. So I guess just the process was, we looked at, those 3 questions, and we really tried to discuss as a class, what they were feeling. And as we were sharing our stories with one another, I really did get to find out that a lot of the kids, how heavily impacted or affected they were by all of this, by the shootings, losing loved ones, losing people that they knew, within their community, within their families. And I think the process in itself, having that creative component and having that having that ability to be able to just write freely for them, I think, especially Keziah, she was able to, let out her feelings in a way where usually she's one that doesn't share. She's very quiet. She doesn't let it out. So I am very proud of all of them. They really took the assignment and just kind of ran with it. Their ideas, like we said, was the sign waving. That was something that came from their class. That they just thought that, hey, like, there's something small that we could do to help out the community. Yeah.
We started this program as a pilot when we discovered through the National Association of Attorneys General that other AGs were doing this program. The reason I felt compelled to bring this to Hawaii is I am absolutely 100% confident that this 62-year-old lady does not know what is compelling to a 14-year-old, a 15-year-old. The only way, I believe, we can make a difference in what's happening in our communities is to hear from you, is to understand what your experience is, but beyond that, find out what the solutions are that you think will make a difference. Because I know they will, but I think that we can learn from you, and your voices are really important to all of us here.
At the very start of the year, our community went through a lot as far as, like the shootings that happened. I mean, it actually happened on the very first day of school, and we actually had to go into lockdown within the first 2 hours. Then we had another shooting, and it was after school, but we had our after school program going on, and once again we had to go into lockdown in week 2, and then in weeks 3 and 4 we had community shootings where some of our students were actually lost family members because of all the violence that was going on. And so I think because of the students, they decided that they wanted to do something about it. This just gave them a platform to kind of have a voice, be leaders within not just the school but within our community. I think that because of their efforts and because of the fact that they're, even at such a young age, they're willing to take on such a leadership role, we've actually seen a drastic reduction in the number of violence within our community. And I think they are, through this experience, with whether it's the writing competition and even some of the other things that they've done throughout the community, they feel empowered that as a young generation that they can make a difference. So when this opportunity came, it was kind of like a no-brainer. We were definitely gonna take this challenge on.
Do the right thing.
We have also created a perpetual plaque that will go to the school who has our student ambassador. You are the inaugural school, of course, so here is our first Do the Right Thing Ambassador of the Year plaque that will be at your school with our winner's name right at the top, first person.
All right, so we're gonna keep this year, and hopefully we rake it in next year again, guys.
You're here because you didn't simply just finish an assignment. You shared about yourself. Doing the Right Thing is a program that gives students a platform, and it's what you did with that platform that matters the most. Some of you wrote about pain, some of you wrote about change, but all of you chose to speak, not just to be heard, but to make things better. That choice is how real change begins, in our schools, in our communities, and in our families. To your teacher, Nicole Karata, and your principal, John Wataoka, Kaz Hage, and your whole team, Thank you. Thank you for creating this space in your classrooms for this conversation. And these situations don't always come with easy answers.
Thank you so much for being smart young people who care. It means a tremendous amount to me and a tremendous amount to the state, to the First Lady, our Attorney General's team, all of our leaders at the Department of Education. And look, let me just say it this way. We all know that our country's going through tough things. I'm very worried as just a dad and a doctor, not even as governor. I'm worried about what happens to young people. I'm worried about the violence in our society. We saw a spike of violence, of course, in Waiʻanae, Nanakuli area in the last couple years. And it's just something that I'm worried about, having lived that life in the hospital for many years, seeing sometimes kids get hurt, sometimes adults or young adults get injured, a lot of collateral damage. And so I'm so impressed that you are taking up this challenge. It will make a difference. You'll be off to DC, or you'll be rooting on your buddies who are off to DC. You're already winners in our book, and we're going to be demonstrating that today by giving you a small medal, which was a very nice thought. Thank you guys for doing that. These days, the Washington D.C. folks need to have role models, and sometimes those role models come in the package of an 8th grader from Waiʻanae. This means that when they hear from you, when they hear your story, when they see that you are thoughtful writers, when they see that from thousands of miles away we care deeply about changing America for the better, it will make a difference. You'd be amazed. You're going to see Congress people and senators who may feel very disconnected from these issues. But when a young, thoughtful person like yourself goes there and puts out this work, they will be impressed. I spent years as a senator here in the state Senate. It always made a very big difference to me when a younger person came and said from their heart what they're really worried about. It's very real. I don't know how many of you know this, but I have an 8th grade son right now, exactly your age. And I worry about, just like any mom or dad would, what happens out there in the world. So I'm extremely proud of you guys for being a part of this program. But more than proud, I'm just thankful. I'm thankful that you are showing legitimate, heartfelt, thoughtful leadership from the state of Hawaii. It is going to be very impressive. It reflects so well on our state, and that matters too. Because people often look to Hawaii, I hope you know, and they take a little something extra from Hawaii, from our values. And you are adding to that. You are adding to our expression of what it means to have aloha for people and to actually care for our ohana, things that a lot of other places, communities don't completely embrace any longer like they should. So it's super impressive. I'm excited that this is the theme, because violence, boy, from some of the governors I hear what they go through in different parts. It's like what we've gone through, but sometimes 100 times worse in like Chicago and Detroit and New York City. It can be very rough. How many of you guys are familiar with the movie Do the Right Thing? Any of you guys see that? You're super young. So there was a movie back in the day, and you might like it. It's a pretty cool movie made by a guy named Spike Lee, African-American filmmaker, very famous. It was a story about inner city New York and the violence that was going on between young people. And I don't know if this particular title was inspired by that, but it really showed that people had to come together. Different races, different genders, different ideologies, and it's a pretty cool expression of, in some ways, what you're doing right now. So I'm so pleased that you're a part of this. You're our first class, so you're kind of our honorary test group that's going through this. And all I want to say is you are going to be a catalyst for positive change. It is very real. I know you take this responsibility seriously, but you've already made us super proud by diving in and becoming early young leaders. So I hope that you'll take this experience, continue it on through high school, and be leaders of our state in the future. It would make me so happy to 5 or 10 years bump into one of you or 2 of you or 5 of you and find out that maybe you're going to be a leader of a group that runs for office, that leads a company, that runs a hospital, that are teachers, because I'll know in many cases it probably started here. So hey, thank you. As your governor, thank you so much for doing this. I really think you're wonderful. Aloha.
All right. Are we going to shaka again? Let's shaka again.